The Nerdgasm Talk podcast is brought to you by Spaces Philly. If you love podcasts, go to spacesphilly.com where you can check out Lulu and Pop, Both Sides, Turntables, Jump Thought Super Tongue, and the Nerd Coalition's very own No Gimmicks Needed. Visit spacesphilly.com today. And now, feel the Nerdgasm.
Now, since we're on the topic of gaming, we're going to talk a little bit about gaming and, they're pretty crappy press conferences that's been going on recently. Let's have a quick moment of silence for that Nintendo Direct Mini that was like 8 minutes long.
Sorry.
All right, that's all we needed. Because that Mini Direct was BS. I was like, I'm tired of companies having nothing to say and still tries to do stuff.
Okay. Now, Sway, I 1,000% agree with you. You got to take into consideration, COVID hit a lot of these companies hard.
Yeah, I totally understand that. I totally understand. But it's like, you guys are just doing something just to get the attention on you. And it's like, you told us this information already. And there's literally nothing new that you're giving us.
Look, I feel the same way. Because it's like, when I'm sitting out there waiting for news for games and stuff like that, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, they haven't said anything. But then I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, do I want to hear news repeated or do I want to hear new news? It's kind of like, look, unfortunately, the way it's looking, Lauren for Power Rangers is not coming until October. Mm-hmm. Am I going to keep checking my Twitter for the rest of July, August, and then September for news that I already know about? You know what I'm saying? So it's hard. Kind of like I didn't hear anything about all the games that I wanted to play. Like, obviously, when it comes to there's a new wrestling game coming out called Retromania Wrestling, which is a wrestling game that's like has a lot of indie guys in there, and it's like a retro style of play.
Oh, cool!
This is supposed to come out Q1 of 2020.
Oh, wow,
bro, we are about to be in Q3, and I'm like, actually, no, we are already in Q3.
Yeah,
and everybody's just like, hey, what's going on with WrestleMania? And there's this thing on YouTube that this guy who works for the company is just like, well, you know what the guy from Nintendo said? He says, a rush game is always bad, but a delayed game is, has a chance to be good. I'm like, so that means what's the date? And every day he comes out with a new video, how to do a finishing move, how to do this on the game. I'm like, okay. I'm like, that's okay. We're learning things about the game that we don't know nothing about. But my question is, when does if you just tell me next year, and I'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? Just tell me next year, because you piss people off with that. I think with the thing with the Nintendo is, it's just that, okay, don't they build it up to something? Because look, let's just be real. Everybody knew what they wanted on that Direct Mini, and I want to tell you right now, it wasn't about 2K Battleground being on the Switch. It wasn't about Pokemon. It wasn't about any of the shit they showed. Where is the next Smash Brothers character at? They said all these fighters are going to be released by December 2021, and we got 5 more to go. And I'm like, we got another 5.5 months of 2020, and we don't even know who the second character is. That's why everybody's pissed. At least part of it. So
I'm more mad. It's like, I'd rather get a big package of what we don't know than to get pieces of new information, if that makes sense. I feel like I worded that so wrong. I'd rather get like one big, like when Ghost of Tsushima, they didn't give us like small information here. They stopped. They gave us like a 45 minute presentation of the game, and it was like, okay, we'll see you later when it comes out. I was like totally okay with that. I'm totally okay. I would rather you give me something. I'd rather you give me a full package than just half-ass it.
Okay,
that's how I felt about the Nintendo. I was like, y'all didn't have to say anything. Y'all didn't have to say anything, but y'all chose to, and it was like, why? Like, it's like just to answer what questions that people had, And it's like, I understand, y'all could have talked about the new DLC for Pokemon, like, hey, we are working on this, but here's what to expect. We hope you're enjoying this. Here's an update for the current Pokemon, all that. But it was just like, I'm lost. I was literally lost just watching it. But yeah, that's how I felt about the Nintendo Direct. The other one, bad one, was Bandai Play anime play. That was just that was boring. I was bored out of my mind. I tried to do a reaction to it. I literally, I was literally falling asleep doing it. It was not good whatsoever. They basically just said, "Hey, remember all this stuff that got leaked on our end? Well, here it is." It was like, we already saw the video and y'all publicly announced that it's coming. So what about, the next Dragon Ball Fighters character? Because this would have been good time since, Evil's canceled. What about the next Tekken character? This would have been good time since Evil's canceled, and they did none of that. And I was like, it's almost like, I at this point I feel like I'm kind of glad we didn't get E3, because if this information was coming out, I would have been like, I see.
I'm gonna go out and let me say, like I said, along with the COVID, because 2020 in general just fucked up, and everybody wanted to show their pedophile racist asses this year. So because around this time I was supposed to be getting Evo trailers out the ass,
right? Yeah, exactly.
About fighting games and stuff like that coming and stuff like that. It messed the whole landscape up.
I was excited for it.
It messed it not only, like I said, we got everything got to be on delay because of the virus out here. But when everybody acting like assholes, we got to even wait even longer to even get news. Out of every fighting game I play, I'm not getting no news about any of them. They're supposed to be in a Mortal Kombat announcement. They were supposed to be the next fighter for Dragon Ball Fighters. I'm supposed to figure out what the next fighter for Smash was supposed to be. We're probably supposed to be on Power Rangers Season 4 right now. Like, it's just so much stuff that is not going to be revealed or even talked about because of what's happening. And I think it just straight sucks.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a Marvel vs. Capcom 4? Or what's going on with the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 20th anniversary? Like, was there a game coming out? Like, was there a collection coming out?
I forgot all about that.
That Marvel vs. Capcom 4, it was like the stars were aligning, and then it just completely, like, it sucks. It sucks. It hurts too. It's like, come on, this is what we're excited about, and then we can't even enjoy it. So it definitely sucks. But yeah, what else happened? Ubisoft Forward. Now, they kind of did the same thing. They talked about games that we all knew were coming out. They actually didn't show any new games. But we got a lot more information on the games that have been announced. So I was like meh about it, but still, these games were like fair. The main one I was interested in is Watch Dogs Legion. So yeah, they talked about Watch Dogs Legion. They talked about Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which I'm still iffy about it. I'm still iffy about Watch Dogs. Assassin's Creed.
What about Far Cry 6?
Far Cry, yeah, I was going to get into that. I was going to, have you into that because, your boy. But before that, Hyperscape, which looks like a Watch Dogs Battle Royale game. And then they showed Elite Squad, just teasing me that Sam Fisher is not going to have his own game anymore. So, that sucks. But Far Cry 6, I'm going to tell you right now, I never bought a game singly just for one character. I will when Far Cry 6 come out.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I did.
You have?
I have bought games before in my life singly because of either the content or because of a character. I bought Mafia 3 because it was a black lead.
I remember you was playing that and we just never got back to it.
It was all right, but I singly purchased Mafia only because there was a black lead, because the first two Mafias, they didn't have that.
Right.
So now, when they said, black man, you get to kill the clan,
he was like,
$60 ain't nothing for that.
He was like, I'm sold.
So I went out and bought that. I went and bought Call of Duty World War II because it was in World War II. I was tired of wall jumping and wall running. I was just like, old school.
So that is different. That's like I feel like that's more of a genre than just like, I've never been into Far Cry, but I'm only getting it because Giancarlo is in it.
No, Giancarlo.
Oh, my bad. I'm so sorry.
Yes. No,
I'm only
mean
getting it because of him.
That is fair. I mean, because I have bought some sports fighting and platformers for just the character alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes I get it, I'd be like, this ain't that great, but I'll stick with it. Or sometimes I'll be like, hey, why did I check out this game before?
Right. Kind of like what I'm going to do for NBA. I'm only buying it because Kobe.
I mean, just keep it in the collection, bro. I still got 2K17. That game is trash. But it's just, it is trash. But I was like, but that was Kobe's retirement thing. So he's on the Legend Edition. That's the story mode with him, Michael B. Jordan. And I got it because off of principle.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like Kobe. I played the game. I was like, whoo, this game is bad. But
right.
You know what I'm saying? I never traded it. I still have it. Mm-hmm. So yeah. And Far Cry 6, I don't play Far Cry neither. I would probably only get Far Cry 6. No, I'm lying. I will get Far Cry 6 because of G Call Esposito. Just to play. Because
and you're not even into first-person shooters.
No, I'm not. I'm not into it. And I'm gonna give it a try because why not?
Right.
See what I'm saying? What? Mm-hmm. Maybe y'all can teach me how to be better.
Yeah, hopefully. But I would say fighting the computer, you'll start to like get the hang of it. If you're okay with Call of Duty, you'll probably be okay with this.
Yeah, but I got to get the okay though.
Okay.
The only reason why I bought Madden 20 is because of Patrick Mahomes.
I don't know who that is.
Patrick Mahomes boy. He just won the
Super
Bowl.
Homeboy. My man from the quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs, the highest paid black quarterback there is in the NFL.
Oh, all right. Check him out.
$503 million.
Dang.
$500 million.
That's great. But yeah, so
sorry, go ahead.
That's exactly how I feel about Far Cry. I'm just getting it because of it, and that's all I've been seeing on Twitter. With people reacting to it, like even Afro Senja, he was like, "Have y'all ever bought a game because of one person?" That's it. No, like I totally agree. I'm only getting it because I'm interested in seeing what he's going to do and how he's going to play the antagonist of this game. Because I'm probably going to be so convinced. Because I know Far Cry 3 had an ending where you get to choose to join them or defy them. If he asks me to join, I'm joining.
You're right. Where else am I going to go?
I'm going to say no. No. I ain't stupid. But yes, Far Cry 6, I'm excited for. Now, this week also, Xbox had their event. I think they just called it the Xbox Game Showcase.
Yo, why is Xbox so bad just finding new names or something?
Yo, Xbox is terrible. They need a marketing person just to get names. Xbox Series X. I was like, dog, why? Like, when they called it the Xbox One, I was so, like, y'all serious right now? Like, it would have been better if they called it Xbox Infinite. I would have been... It was like, I remember I asked one of my friends, he's more into Xbox than I am. I was like, you know why they call it Xbox One? He was like, probably because it's just one device where you can do everything on. I was like, yeah, how about one device where you have infinite possibilities? You know, Xbox Infinite. That just sounds better. But Xbox Series X. But yeah, the show led with Halo Infinite. Now, everybody was waiting for Halo's comeback, and to me, the showcase for Halo was fair. It does show that like it looks like they're going the God of War route. As you can see in the gameplay trailer, they were doing the one single shot camera pan that God of War, the recent God of War remake did throughout the whole game. And I was like, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna copy something, copy a good thing. But at this point, it just feels like they're just trying to call for attention. It was like, yeah, we know our exclusives haven't been that good, so let's just try to knock it out the park with this one. And a lot of people didn't like the last Halo game. So I don't know where this story is going to go at all. But yeah, the gameplay looks fair. Apparently it's open world as well. So I don't know how... I wasn't big of a Halo guy. Q, were you big Halo on Halo?
I stopped after...
A lot of people stopped after 3, I think. Like I
might have stopped after 3.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure
but
if you were a big Halo.
I definitely was Halo 2. On the
Yeah,
360,
that was
he
like
going in.
everyone's. That was everyone's jam. If you talk about shooters, that was everyone's
Oh,
jam.
Spartan Laser, yeah.
But I don't know how you feel about Halo. I mean, you hate Xbox in general, so. But
Oh, I don't care about Halo anymore.
okay, so yeah, that just went over my head. The biggest things I saw in there was Fable coming back, which I'm like, it's about time. Y'all need to apologize for what that mess was with Fable 3. Because,
I
my God.
haven't touched or talked about Fable since my sophomore year in high school.
That's dag.
So when I heard about that, because I don't even know which one that was. I don't know if that was 1 or 2. But let's see, sophomore in high school. God, that was 2004.
I don't remember. I'm
So
Fable.
yeah,
Fable
so
3
now
was not good.
just hearing that name again.
2004 was oh wait, no, that was the anniversary.
Sheesh. So yeah, so I was like, okay, well, now hearing it come back, I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely 2004. 2004 is when the first Fable came out. But yeah, I'm interested in that. Well, I got to see gameplay because some sources says it's going to be an MMO, which I'm like, I really hope not. That's not the way to go. That's not the way to go. Speaking of MMO, Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis, which honestly looks like Phantasy Star Online 3, which I was like, this looks beautiful for an MMO. This looks like a regular RPG. So I would like to hashtag give that a chance. They talked about Outer Worlds. Q, you're bigger on Outer Worlds.
Oh yeah.
Any opinion about? Was that a DLC they had for it?
Yeah, it's a DLC. We've been waiting for this DLC because we beat, everybody beat the game, and then we realized on the playback there's like 2 planets we weren't like 2, 3 planets we weren't able to go to.
Hmm.
So we're like, oh wait a minute, what happened now? It was a good game, so that's why we didn't notice. But on the playback, we're like, whoa, we ain't go to these planets. So I guess I didn't see it. I just heard about it from another Outer Worlds player.
Uh-huh.
So he explained it on. It sounds really dope. Same thing is gonna be a whole nother whole like a little story going on. You get to make your choices. There's gonna be new weapons. They introduced one of the science weapons. Science weapons are just legendary weapons.
Gotcha.
They just call it science weapons. But yeah. There's gonna be new dialogue, they got like flaws in the game with your character.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you're constantly attacking robots, they call you robophobic. So now it's like every time you see a robot, like every time you're about to see a robot, I think like you get plus damage, but like something goes down too. So yeah, it's a really good system how they do that with your attributes and all that. So I'm here for it. Let me sidetrack real quick. On my soul, if Fantasy Star is not, if that's an Xbox exclusive, I might flip something. That game was a PlayStation game for
Yep,
years.
it was. But
But
Xbox
yeah,
they got the mods and stuff.
I have it on my PSP. If that game does not come over to my side, I might flip something. Xbox might have something that's gonna make me flip something. Y'all don't deserve fan. Like what? Come on, man.
Fantasy Star looks hot. Fantasy
I
Star looks hot.
love Fantasy Star, man. I love that game, man. It is so dope. I'm telling you, I'm gonna flip something. If they don't bring that over here.
You gonna flip over the
yeah.
next one?
I'm very curious on what games will be cross platform. So
Right.
like
But
I hope Fantasy Stars.
yeah, that better come over here. But anyway, I'm excited for the Outer Worlds DLC. Like I said, I've been waiting on that for months. So
Yeah.
it'd be nice to get right back on that game and continue going with what I was doing.
Right. Now on to a little bit more on Outer Worlds. It was made by Obsidian. Now they did. I believe it was.
They did New Vegas.
Yes, New Vegas, and did they do Skyrim Online or no Elder Scroll Online? Or was that? Or was that a different company? Because it definitely wasn't.
I think they might have. They might have did that.
Okay, so
Elder Scrolls Online.
I believe they're doing an Xbox exclusive. It sounded like an Xbox exclusive when they were talking about it, saying Microsoft gave them a chance to do the game they want. It's called Avowed, which looks like Skyrim. Which I was like, "Are y'all serious right now? What? Like this game looks the same." And that was mainly my problem with a lot of these games on Xbox. It's like all of these look the same. The one thing that stood out to me was this game called Exo. Oh crap! I can't even find the title because this game showcased in the pre-show. The trailer showed it in the pre-show. Echo Generations, which first you're just like a robot shooting. Next thing you know, you see like Transformers out of nowhere fighting each other, robot dinosaurs. I'm like, okay, that looks
I know
hot.
what you're talking about. Yeah,
I don't know what's going on, but it looks incredible.
it looks like robot. It looked like Vanquish meets Call of Duty.
Yeah, in Titanfall. Vanquish meets Titanfall to me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know what that is, but I'm interested. The Medium, which was it's going to be like a horror game where you travel parallel in dimensions. That was another game that they announced on there. That was announced on the first showcase as well, but we got a little bit more information about that exclusive. Hello Neighbor 2, which I didn't expect for that to be announced either. A lot of people play Hello Neighbor, and from what I've seen, that's a really creepy game. So I don't know where they're gonna go story-wise with this at all. Honestly, Dragon Age 11 is coming out for that. Now, as far as I know, Dragon Age 11 was Nintendo exclusive, and now it is coming over to Xbox One X. And it looks like it's not coming to PS4 either, so it's just coming to Xbox One X. Which honestly,
Dragon Age sucks anyway.
It kind of surprised me with that because it further shows the relationship between Nintendo and Microsoft. They also showed the DLC for Destiny 2 Beyond Light, which actually looked really cool. It almost convinced me to get Destiny again. Almost.
Wow.
Now, again, I was sold on Destiny once Bungie was divorced from Activision. I was like, good. That's exactly what they needed to do. And from what I've been hearing, it's now free to play. You just have to buy the expansions, and the game runs a lot better than what it previously was. But looking at the techniques you could do with the ice in this game, I was like, ooh, yeah, I'm liking that. So maybe it'll bring me back. It's not 100%, but since it's free to play right now, I will probably #give it a chance.
#give it a chance. Yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, that was pretty much it for the Xbox showcase. Nothing really groundbreaking. Now, if y'all had to give a rating for all the press conferences we saw this year so far, what would you like? What's your top 3? I would say. I'll start with Mr. A&E.
PlayStation.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let's just say our bottom 2, because we're all gonna say PlayStation for 1.
Okay, I'll just so we're on the same level then. Yeah. The ones I didn't like too much at all was Xbox. I never been a fan of the Microsoft conferences, though. It always gonna fall in there, that one for me. And the Nintendo Mini.
Okay.
I forgot about the Nintendo Mini. That's how bad it was. Lord.
Yeah. I wouldn't even get.
No. We going. I feel you, Mr. A&E, but we're not gonna act like Nintendo didn't slip that weak ass treehouse.
It did. Nintendo did nothing good for me this year.
They snuck in that terrible ass treehouse.
I don't even remember what happened.
Talk about Pokemon, and then as we found out Pokemon Snap.
Oh yeah, I forgot all.
Pokemon Smile.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell is this? This ain't what I asked for.
I forgot all about that. But yeah, I can't even think of a top 3 honestly, because it was the only thing I was like Nintendo. Sony. They knocked it out of the park as they usually do. Like they completely dominated this year with like not only like content but the games. Not only with content with the games, but actually talking about the system stats and all that. So they knocked it out of the park. Now, if I had a bottom 3, it would be whatever Nintendo Direct Mini that was. EA Play, which was horrible, and I would say that this Bandai one, it's really disappointing.
I did really, like Ubisoft a little bit, so I did like that.
Yeah, I enjoy Ubisoft for what they like the expanding on the games they had. I was like, okay, at least y'all showed something interesting. But other than that, I was like, yeah, it's quite boring, y'all. I'm sorry, it's quite boring. But yeah, PlayStation had it. Q.
I'm here. I'm here.
We lost connection.
Well, yeah, like I said, Nintendo. I mean, they stuck in those bullshit. Because it was Nintendo, and then Bandai had that trash one, didn't they?
Yeah, Bandai was horrible.
Yeah,
Bandai was just so boring, and it just got people that just they got people that don't even sound interested in anime. And I was like, what? Who do y'all hire, y'all?
Those are my picks.
Yeah. That's pretty much all we have for the podcast. Did you have any like topics that just came up recently out of nowhere?
No, I didn't actually.
Yeah, that was actually I feel bad going on a somber note with that.